Hi mathematicians. Today we are going to use mathematical practices in order to help us unpack and solve complex problems. Let's review the mathematical practices. These are all of the standards that will help make you successful mathematicians. What I love about this image is with each mathematical practice, it also gives you an image as well as at the bottom, it kind of gives you a brief summary of what that practice means. So practice number 1 is just working on persevering and not giving up on difficult problems. Practice number 2 is to be able to reason. Think about what makes sense. So it's really important as 4th grade mathematicians that we don't just get correct answers, but we're able to explain why our answer makes sense. Mathematical practice number 3 is to be able to construct arguments and critique the reasoning of others. This is when you listen to someone else's explanation and you talk and explain why you agree or disagree with it. Mathematical practice number 4 is modeling with math. You need to be able to show your thinking. Again, we want a correct answer, but what's more important as a 4th and 5th grade mathematician is that you're able to show us with some strategy, a number line, a picture, an array, some way to show us how you can model math. Number 5 is using tools appropriately and strategically. So when you are given math tools like base 10 blocks, like number cubes, you are able to kind of use them appropriately and strategically to solve a problem. Number 6 is attending to precision. So it's really important that you're not only checking your work, but you're making sure to include the correct labels on your answers. Number 7 is looking for and making use of structure. So it's important that when you look at the structure of math, you're able to see the patterns or connections between numbers. And the last one is look for and express regularity in repeated reasoning. Again, this is able to see patterns or connections and being able to explain them using your reasoning. Now that you have a brief review of the mathematical practices, let's use them to start thinking about a complex problem. So I first want you to think about how is unpacking your backpack similar to unpacking a math problem. Unpacking a math problem is a critical step to solving complex word problems, and it is very similar to unpacking your backpack when you arrive at school. See if you can think of 2 to 3 similarities. Pause the video. Once you have 2 or 3 similarities, then go ahead and press play and see if you came up with the same ones I did. So they both are helping you to be prepared for your school day or to be prepared to solve the problem. Organization. When you unpack, it's important that you're organized for the day, as well as unpacking a math problem will help you organize your thinking to develop a plan to solve it. Unpacking your backpack allows you to have all the tools ready for the day. Paper, pencils, ruler, scissors, all the things that you might need. Just like unpacking a math problem, it will help you to realize what tools or strategies you're going to need to solve the problem. And the last one, success. Unpacking your backpack every day will help you to be successful for school. Unpacking a math problem will help you successfully solve the problem. So those are the ones that I came up with, and I bet you probably came up with some similar ones, or maybe you could even add to our list. So let's take a look at this particular question. Miss J's daughter collects 25 acorns. She decides to dig a hole and bury them for the squirrels to find. If she digs 6 holes and puts 3 acorns in each hole, how many more acorns does she need to bury? Show how you figured it out. So we have a complex problem here because there's multiple things that we're going to need to do in order to be able to solve it. So it's going to be really important that we unpack it. And finally, this particular problem says, show how you figured it out. So that's going back to our math practice of being able to model. So what do we know? Unpacking this problem, we know right from the problem that there is a total of 25 acorns. We get that directly from the problem. We also know from reading the problem directly that Miss J's daughter, dug 6 holes, and she puts 3 acorns in each hole. So what do we need to find out? We're going to look right at our question. How many more acorns does she need to bury? I'm going to copy that question. That helps my mind to focus on what I actually need to do to solve the question. And finally, consider. What do we need to consider before we solve the problem? In this case, we need to consider the operations that we will use. Sometimes you may also have to consider what tools you may need. So for this first one, I've decided that I'm going to consider using multiplication, or you could have said repeated addition. And then I'm going to need to do some subtraction to figure out how many more acorns I need to bury. So this is a multi-step problem. I'm taking all the information that I know, find out, and consider, and now I'm ready to solve. When I think of multi-step problems, I think of a stair step. Because just like climbing the stairs, you have to climb one step in order to get to your next step, in order to get to your final step to solve the problem. So in step 1, we have to figure out how many acorns are already in the holes. So I'm going to show that by doing the multiplication equation. 6 times 3 equals 18. 6 holes, 3 acorns in each hole, equals a total of 18 acorns that are already buried. In step 2, I'm going to have to use the answer of 18 in some way. I already considered that I needed to multiply and then I needed to subtract. So in step 2, I'm going to need subtraction. I'm going to figure out how many acorns are left to bury. So I'm going to take the total acorns and I'm going to subtract the acorns that are in the holes to get my answer. So 25 total minus 18 that I got from step 1 equals 7. And so that takes me to actually the final answer. How many more acorns does she need to bury? 7 acorns. Did I show my work? Yes, I showed my work using equations. Remember, when you show your work, you can use pictures, numbers, and/or symbols. In this case, I chose to use equations. 6 times 3 equals 18, and 25 minus 18 equals 7. All right, friends, now it is your turn. You're going to travel back to the It's Learning page and begin the Squirreling Away learning path. Good luck, mathematicians, and don't forget to use your mathematical practices.